Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee, which is probing allegations of criminal infiltration in the justice system, continues today. Paul O'Sullivan, you might remember, walked out on MPs before concluding his testimony last week. Watching the latest is our reporter, Bulelani Phillip, live to us now from Parliament in Cape Town. And Bulelani, I imagine the MPs will have to regroup and have something to say about Paul O'Sullivan's walkout, especially when you consider the EFF's decision to open that criminal case last week.
Certainly, good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers. Of course, that action by Paul O'Sullivan was unprecedented, and MPs were actually left shocked as well as they felt embarrassed by that kind of action. And again, this morning, they will be reflecting on the way forward in relation to how they should proceed against Paul O'Sullivan. As you've indicated, the EFF did lay a criminal complaint against Paul O'Sullivan at the Cape Town Central Police Station on Friday morning. They believe that he was in contempt of Parliament in relation to the Powers, Privileges and Immunities Act, and they would want actually also the Speaker of the National Assembly, Thoko Didiza, to follow suit in ensuring that Paul O'Sullivan is actually brought to book, because if that action is allowed to go unpunished, they feel that it might lay an unprecedented precedent of people who find that they are in a corner that they can simply walk out of parliamentary proceedings. This morning, what we do expect is that the committee will reflect on that particular event, and they also expect to get a legal opinion from the legal advisors of Parliament in terms of how the committee should actually proceed. We do know from the deliberations after Paul O'Sullivan had walked out, they had indicated that they intend to write to Paul O'Sullivan to invite him back to the committee, and if that fails, they will actually ensure that they apply for a subpoena with the Office of the National Assembly Speaker to ensure that Mr. O'Sullivan is subpoenaed to reappear before the committee. And again, I do need to indicate that the committee members are quite keen on quizzing Paul O'Sullivan on 3 reports that they've received from various entities. The first is that from Home Affairs, which speaks to his permanent residency in the country and later being a naturalized South African. They feel that there are some discrepancies in his application, and they would actually like to get to the bottom of his permanent residency and naturalization in the country. The second report relates to Airports Company South Africa, where Paul O'Sullivan did act as a director of security and aviation director, and they felt that his departure from there had actually been led by some misdemeanors on his part, and they would actually like to know how can a person who is reportedly an investor in the country seek employment in a state entity. And also, they felt that he does not have the necessary qualifications for that position. So they would want to know how he got into that position. The last report is one from the National Director of Public Prosecutions, which relates to a criminal charge that had been laid against Paul O'Sullivan. That charge has been put in abeyance, allegedly because of an agreement between prosecutors and Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's legal team, because they had agreed, allegedly, that that kind of criminal charge would be put in abeyance until cases against the former acting National Police Commissioner, Khumutso Phahlane, are completed. They say that this is an unprecedented agreement, and they would like to get to the bottom of that kind of agreement. And looking ahead, Ayanda, this morning proceedings are expected to begin at 10 o'clock this morning. And again, later on in the week, there will also be other witnesses. Tomorrow, we expect that the Deputy National Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Hilda Sentumule, will take the stand. And on Thursday, National Coloured Congress leader and MP Fadil Adams, as well as Sarah Jane Trent, who is Paul O'Sullivan's personal assistant. So those are the kind of issues that we expect to come out this week. And of course, this morning's meeting will also, revisit the issue of scheduling other witnesses.